It's the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coach's Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's on 1019 100.5, 1450 WGNSSports.com and Big G TV.
Coach's Show brought to you by Rick's Barbecue, serving up the best smoked barbecue, ribs, and many local favorites out on Warrior Drive. Locally operated by Anne-Marie Brentz and the Lanning family. Speaking of Warrior Drive this morning, it's time to talk about the Riverdale Warriors, and head coach Michael Voss is here. I'm sure many of baked potatoes and some barbecue dinners and stuff like that, huh?
The baked potatoes got out of control for a little bit. It was almost an everyday thing.
Yeah, it could be.
It could be, and it's part of the reason why I think I weigh about 30 more pounds than what I did when I took the Riverdale job.
Yeah. So, hey, we had the chance to come out to your place this past week, and man, I got to tell you, it's the first time I've seen the gym, but done some improvements in there. It looks nice.
No, Miss Blair has put some money into with this construction and everything that we've done.
Yeah.
She's put some money into the gym and into our facilities, and it's amazing what, after so many years, just a new coat of paint.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
Taking some signs down. We're in the process of kind of getting some new signs put up, but that they're not going to be done until after the season. So it'll be one of those things. We'll unveil it a little bit next year. But the hallway flags and some of the wraps that she has invested in and put on the doors, like it gives it a whole new feel and a whole new look, and for a 55-year-old building, like, it looks pretty good.
I mean, those things were built pretty solid.
Yeah, they were.
Back in the day.
That's the thing, is you look at our building compared to some other 50-year-old buildings that you see around the state, and ours is in extremely good shape. I do think that's one thing the county has kind of done, is, for the most part, our facilities, they've tried to stay up to date with everything. The one thing I wish we had a better auxiliary gym, just a full floor in there like everybody else does.
Mm-hmm.
Just us in Oakland have the small floor. Central Magnet doesn't even have an auxiliary gym. That's part of dealing with an old building, but other than that, I've got no complaints. Our locker room facility is great. We do have some good facilities around here.
I guess aux gyms just really weren't the thing, or thinking about it.
They weren't. You really didn't think about it, and it was one of those things
it's
where
probably state of the art when it was built.
Oh no, it was. Because if you think about it, like, so you go from Central to the two high schools, Oakland and Riverdale. Well, Central has just the one gym, and that's all that they had. And you get to Riverdale and Oakland now, and so you've got an aux gym upstairs, but the floor is only, I think the floor is 74 feet it's not a full regulation floor, and it is tight space up there. Like, every day that you go up there, you're on top of walls, like, you got the rail. Like, it's not ideal to practice in, but at the same time, now that we've been doing it, I'm used to it. But from Blackman on, everybody has got a full auxiliary gym, and that's just, it's part of the thing of development. Also, when you went from Oakland and you went from Central to Oakland and Riverdale, there wasn't volleyball. There wasn't all these demands to be in your facility. All of the county schools had their own gyms, so you didn't have middle schools over there. Like, right now, what Central Magnet is fighting is they've got varsity boys and girls and middle school boys and girls all in the same building, trying to use the same floor. And I'm sure the scheduling for Coach Lanier and Bush and those guys is a nightmare at times.
Yeah. Well, I know that upstairs gym, many of balls have bounced over the rail and down into the bleachers below too.
Yeah, it happens. You try to keep the curtains closed. But,
yeah, that's true.
Like the other night, when our AV crew production team has started to do some of those live stream casts, and they do a phenomenal job with it. But you got to have the curtains open when you do it. So again, you kind of run the risk of, when we're upstairs warming up, a ball kind of coming flying over the rails, and it happens every once in a while.
Well, it's been 30 years. I've been hit in the back of the head with a basketball a time or two.
That's why we moved you. That's why we probably need to move you guys to the corner, get you out of the way a little bit.
The district slate has started. Gosh, are we at the midway point already, or getting close?
No, this week is the midway point. Siegel's going to be our third game, and we'll have played everybody through by that point. So we'll have a pretty good idea of where things stand after this.
Going through it, I had some thoughts, but a lot of those thoughts were negative. But now after playing through, the fact that we're playing teams from the other region, I think helps that. So it kind of gives you a feel of seeing all of Rutherford County, to me.
Yeah. That was one of the things we talked about in the meeting when the TOS came out with these districts the first time, and we're all sitting there like me and work, like we're fit to be tied, because to me, I don't understand why we have such small districts, why things are the way that they are. But 4-team districts means you automatically go to the region. We talked about doing away with the district tournament. But at the end of the day, we all want those 2 extra games that you get with the district tournament to get that tournament feel. But when we were sitting there going, it's like, hey, we have to find, because you get 24 games with TOSAA, we got to find 18 regular season games if we just play a district schedule. So how are we going to do this? And
other districts may be larger and don't have as many.
And they don't need to find nearly as many. So what we kind of did was, instead of having just a district meeting, we had a region meeting right out of the gate in April, I think it was. And what we came up with is we're going to play every year. We're going to play everybody in your district twice, and then we're going to play everybody in the region one time. So, and some of us are playing twice. We're not all playing twice, but some of us are playing twice. So, I think actually this week, with us playing Smyrna, I am pretty sure that is the first week of official region play going into it. Last week we played Blackman, but that was just an add-on regular season game. We were playing twice.
Yeah.
So we'll play this over the next 4 weeks. We'll play all of our district games on Friday, and then we'll play a region opponent on Tuesday night every week. And I do think it's good for the county. I think it's good for all of us. It means when you get to the region tournament, you're going to have played whoever you're playing at least one time and have a little film on them. And I just think it's good for our crowds, good for our kids. I think it's good for the whole county for us to do this.
Well, for us, coming right out of the gates after the holiday break in January, there were 2 Rutherford County teams playing each other, and so that's one of the first things that I look for on a schedule: who's playing who, and if it's 2 Rutherford County teams, that's going to get a higher mark than somebody else, just because we can cover 2 teams that way. And so I come out with a little, now that we've gone through a little bit here, come out with a little different perspective on that. You have played everybody but Siegel, right, in the district?
In the district, yes. So we played Oakland last week, played Rockville last night, and then we've got Siegel Friday, and that'll be that's going to be our first time through.
We were there at the Oakland game, and games with Riverdale and Oakland are always a battle, and it came down to missed 3 with seconds left by Oakland that could have tied it and sent it into overtime, but your guys showed a lot of resiliency in that game.
No, we did. We played well in that game. We had a really good week last week. Come off, kind of coming out of a tough preseason schedule because we played a bunch of good teams early. We talked about, our focus the whole time has been everything getting to this point and everything getting to when we start district play. So we had our last tune-up with Clarksville Northeast. Traveled up there, got a good win up there, and then get to Oakland game, which obviously we've talked about with our guys. The district games are the ones right now that are the most important on our schedule. Not that we don't put anything into those region games, but at the end of the day, we have 6 games on our schedule that matter for our district standings, and we want to make sure that we put ourselves in the best position to win those and play well in them. And we had a really good week of practice, and we got what we talked about doing into the game on Friday night. And then it does help that Ryan Wilkerson goes 6 for 7 from 3.
Yeah.
He shot the ball really well. He had a really good week last week as well. And I do think that there's something to be said about clicking at the right time. And, I think we are starting to play well at the right time. Now, the thing is, can we carry it over? We didn't play great last night. We had good practices and good walkthroughs going into it, but we did a bunch of stuff last night that we had talked about not doing. And, it led to us, the game kind of getting out of hand and getting out of control. We had it at 8 at the half, or it was about to be 8 going into the half, and then one of the Lewis kids hit a 3 at the buzzer at half to make it 11. They come out and make a quick, I think it was an 8-0 or a 10-0 run right out of the gate in the third, and all of a sudden, what was a game that we had a chance to kind of grind back into and come into got out of hand and got away from us. And some of it was us turning the basketball over. Some of it was we got popped on the glass last night, and we hadn't had that happen in a little bit. So, we'll refocus and regroup and have a good Monday practice, Sunday open gym, Monday practice, and get back to the grind on Tuesday.
Michael Voss here with us. I did want to mention Ryan Wilkerson as our SRM Concrete Solid performer this morning. He had not only that 20-point game against Oakland, but also had the Tuesday before 21 points in the win over Clarksville Northeast. And not that you have to get 6 of 7 from three-point range from him, but he needs to be on for your team to be successful.
No, he does. He's got to be on, and that was part of the struggle last night. Is he had 2 points. His brother had 2 points. Like we didn't score the ball very well last night. We didn't put ourselves in great position to score the ball, and in the end of the day, like that'll get better. But one of the things that you can kind of look at and look at it with our guys is we've had back-to-back guys. Braylon Burns won the little DNJ poll vote the week before. He had 33 against Peabody over Christmas and had a really good Christmas break. And then you had Ryan turn around and win it last week. I don't think, and we've had some good players. I don't know if we've ever had guys go back-to-back in those polls, and I do think some of it goes to the quality of the kids that we have. Like one of the things about those two guys that Braylon Burns and Ryan, they get along with everybody in our school. They're well liked, they're well respected, and I think a lot of it was their peers and their classmates and teachers get on and vote for them because they're good kids in the classroom and great kids on the court, and that's just kind of what we've tried to get.
Not that you need, 27 or 30 out of them every night. It'd be nice. But, I mean, if you could get consistently 15 and get some of your other guys to kind of step up there and chip in 8 to 10, that's kind of where you want to be and well-balanced. And you're working toward that.
And that's the thing. We have been, like right now, our most consistent scorer has been Braylon. He's probably averaging about 13 a night. He had 18 last night. He was very solid last week. He's just been, he has come in, and now that he's kind of back in basketball shape, because coming from football, it takes him a little bit of time. Like, he has been very consistent for us as far as scoring and rebounding the basketball, and we need that to continue. We need Ryan and Wayman to be consistent scorers for us, and then, guys like Dawson, who's a little bit of an undersized point guard, but one of the things he's done a really good job of against Oakland, he had 7 assists in that game. He's just getting the ball to the right guys, and that's something that we've got to have. We've had good point guard play so far, and when you have good point guard play from a guy, even though he's not scoring, like that's not what it's about. It's about doing the right thing, and for the most part, he's done that, and it's going to help us be successful.
This week at Smyrna, then host Siegel. Then next Tuesday, the 27th, you'll host Blackman, and then at Oakland as we go back through some of those games. And, Coach, appreciate you spending some time with us. Look forward to seeing your bunch here in a couple of weeks here, and I'm sure we'll be at a game here soon. I don't even know my schedule right now.
I am sure we will see you at some point. It's a game-by-game thing. Thanks, Brian.
Yes, I appreciate it. Michael Voss with us this morning on the Coaches Show, brought to you by the law offices of John Day, providing superior legal representation to injury victims and their families. Find out more at johndaylegal.com.
Rely on the experience